Hi, everybody. Welcome back. For segment 2 today, let's continue on doing some review in Unit 6 in the workbook. So at this time, I would like for us to do a little bit of grammar review. And in Unit 6, we talked about using when clauses, W-H-E-N, okay? So remember that we use a when clause to describe a specific time, okay? And I'm going to give you a quick review before we look at the exercises in the workbook, all right? So, I'm going to ask you a few questions here. And when I ask the questions, I want you to notice, where is the word when placed? Where is it in the sentence? And do you see a comma or not? The following questions, I would also like to request that you take some time to discuss these with someone. Maybe call your conversation partner again. So the questions are as follows. Number 1, when you see a dangerous situation in public, what do you do? Okay. I thought of this question because this week in the USA, a very tragic event has happened. If you are watching the news, you know that there is a lot of rioting, meaning like a public street fight. People are very upset because a policeman killed a black man on the street by holding his neck to the ground. So many people are very upset, and I thought about this question: what would I do if I saw something like this happening in public? So a very dangerous situation. Number 2, what do you feel when a friend stabs you in the back? Do you know this expression? It is an idiomatic phrase or colloquial phrase. The meaning is not literal that someone stabbed you in the back. The meaning is betray you. Maybe someone talked about you behind your back or did something to hurt you when you felt that you had their trust. So maybe a difficult question to discuss, but a very common human problem. Number 3, what do you do when life feels overwhelming? There's a little bit of a glare from the computer screen on the words there. When life feels overwhelming. Okay, now let's take these sentences and let's look. I'm going to take a marker here. Now, when, as we notice in number 1, is in the beginning of the sentence. When you see a dangerous situation in public, okay, then do you see it? There is a comma right here. What do you do? Now, I made questions here. I could answer in a statement. When I see a dangerous situation in public, comma, I call 911. Okay, for example. Now, we see that the clause word when is at the beginning of the sentence, and it is separated from the main idea with a comma here. All right? Number 2, what do you feel when a friend stabs you in the back? Where is the word? Where is the adverb here? When is in the middle of the question. What do you do when? Or what do you feel when a friend stabs you in the back? Okay, now I'm going to put brackets around this because this is the main clause, starting with a friend. Okay. Now, let's point out that these are called information questions, right? Because they began with the 5 W's: who, what, why, when, or where. So I call these the question words: when, what, and let's circle here, what. Okay? So this is the question word telling the listener what is the purpose of your question. Okay? So when tells the listener, I'm talking about a specific time or situation. When, right? And then what do you feel? If you notice, the clause word when is in the middle. So I have 2 WH words here, but the first one is serving as the question word, and the second one is serving as the adverb clause in this question. All right. The third one. So let me point out there is no comma in number 2 because when is in the middle of the sentence. The last one. What do you do when life feels overwhelming? Okay, we see when again in the middle. All right. So I could switch it, couldn't I? When life feels overwhelming, comma, what do you do? So a little bit of review with when clauses. So we'll do a quick review in the workbook. Okay, I'm going back to this workbook for Unit 6, Lesson B. So turn with me in your workbook to page 68. Let's continue with a few exercises, and hopefully this will help us to review when clauses. Exercise 1, we have a matching exercise. Okay? Take a moment to skim the sentences here, and then the options, the multiple choices. Okay, example 1. When I need to concentrate, comma, we have the answer, I turn off the TV. When I need to concentrate, comma, I turn off the TV. Number 2, what do you think? When I feel tired, comma, what do I do? What do you do? E, I take a break. I take a break. Do you hear my pronunciation? I'm connecting those words together. I don't say take a break. I say take a break. Take and break rhyme. So I will read these quicker together. Number 3, when I have a deadline, comma, what? It may depend on you. There could be maybe 2 possible answers, but what's your best guess, do you think? A, I don't procrastinate. Hopefully. Okay, and number 4, when I don't understand a grammar question, comma, what? I ask my teacher. F. Okay, 5, when I don't understand a word, comma. Okay, this person uses a dictionary, C. What I would say to you, when you don't understand a word, comma, use context clues and take a guess. All right? And number 6, when I have many tasks to do. Remember the word task means a small job. When I have many tasks to do, I make a to-do list. Okay, now, I think when I mentioned earlier that A could have a couple possible answers, I was thinking for number 6. However, for number 6, D makes more sense because most people make a list when they have many things to do. I don't know if you agree. Okay, so how did you do on that part? You will notice that all of these examples use when in the beginning of the sentence with a comma in the middle. Let's go to exercise 2. We need to combine the sentences using when. Okay? At this time, I would like to ask you to pause the video and answer these to yourself. Let's try one together and then you can continue. So we have number 1, Parvana. It sounds like an Indian name. Parvana has a lot of homework. She makes a to-do list of her tasks. Okay, now when? Let me think about the main clause here. All right, or maybe what's the main idea here? Parvana has a lot of homework, right? So when Parvana has a lot of homework, comma, she makes a to-do list. Now you could repeat all of the words if you like, or just keep it simple. She makes a to-do list, okay? So how about you pause and try the rest? We'll come back together and check. Okay, now let's check together, starting with number 2. All right, she wants to concentrate. She goes to the library. When Parvana wants to concentrate, she goes to the library. So we need a comma in the middle. Okay, the next one we see when is in the middle, so we don't need a comma. So we have she looks at the clock, she starts her work. Okay, so what is the main idea here? What do I need to go first? She starts her work when she looks at the clock. Okay, so think about how would you say this if you put when first and then reverse it for putting when in the middle. All right, number 4, she finishes a task. She checks it off her to-do list. She checks it off. When she finishes a task, comma, she checks it off her to-do list. And number 5, she takes a short break. She feels tired. All right, let's see. What's the main purpose here? She takes a short break when she feels tired. Did you get it? Okay. Number 6. Well, let me explain number 5 a little bit more. So when we're talking about the situation or the feeling, the experience of being tired. So if I say, when I feel tired, comma, I take a break. So if I'm going to reverse it, I take a break when I feel tired. So remember that when is talking about a specific time, something that you do at a specific moment or time. All right, let's go to number 6. She doesn't hand in her homework on time. Her teacher is upset. Okay, your answer? When she doesn't hand in her homework on time, comma, her teacher is upset. Let's go to 7. Okay, I'm going to give the answer instead. Let's see. She eats a snack when she feels hungry. So in the moment, the situation, when she feels hungry, she eats a snack. Okay, it's 8. She needs to focus. She doesn't answer the phone. When she needs to focus, comma, she doesn't answer the phone. And number 9. She does the difficult tasks first when she has a lot of work to do. So I'm thinking about what's the situation, the specific situation I'm talking about when someone has a lot of work to do. Okay, so that means I need to put that main idea after when. So in this case, it's going second. All right, and the last one. She has a deadline. She doesn't procrastinate. Okay? When she has a deadline, comma, she doesn't procrastinate. What about you? And how did you do in exercise 2? In my opinion, exercise 2 is very basic, simple review. And they gave both sentences that we need. We just have to figure out what order and what is the main action in the sentence describing the specific situation. Okay, then I know when to use when. Where in the sentence to use when. All right, let's go to the next page, 69. Okay, this one is easy. Can you tell me if we need a comma or no comma? Okay, take a moment, look to yourself. Let's do number 1 together. When I finish my homework, I take a break. Do we need a comma here? If you look closely, you notice that we have a when clause starting in the beginning. And then we have a full sentence or a main clause, I take a break. Because when is first, we must put a comma after homework. Okay, look at number 2. Okay, we have when in the middle. So let's read it. Than procrastinates when he doesn't want to do his homework. When is in the middle, so no comma. Number 3, Susanna uses a dictionary when she reads the newspaper. Same thing. When is in the middle, no comma. And 4, in the beginning, when we don't hand in our homework, comma, our teacher is very upset. Number 5, when I have a deadline, I stay up late. Same thing, we need a comma after deadline. And the last one, so Sheila doesn't like to work when she is tired. When in the middle, no comma, no comma. Okay, now I'm going to ask you at this time to pause again, look at exercise 4. You will notice that you need to write a question and an answer. So do you remember this exercise? We did a similar one in the textbook. So take a moment to pause, and then we will come back together after you finish and check. Okay, let's go to example. Number 1, we have finish a difficult task. What do you do when you finish a difficult task? Question. I take a break. Okay, so from the options in the gray box here, I hope you chose your answers. Number 2, similar to my questions that I asked here, what do you do or what do you feel? I can change this verb according to the situation. What do you do when you need to concentrate? Okay, and there's probably only one logical answer. I go to the library. And if you want to make a complete sentence, you can add the clause after. So I go to the library when I need to concentrate. Or switch it. When I need to concentrate, comma, I go to the library. Okay, 3. What do you do when you don't understand the homework? So in this situation, when you don't understand homework, what do you do? I ask my teacher, right? Number 4, we have do, have a quiz or test. What do you do when you have a quiz or test? And the answer, I study my notes. Okay, maybe you can take a moment and make 2 different answers using when in the beginning and when in the middle. All right, and number 5, do and feel tired. What do you do when you feel tired? I rest. Okay, I rest when I feel tired. Or when I feel tired, comma, I rest. Last one. What do you do when you don't want to work? Answer, I procrastinate. Or when I don't want to work, comma, I procrastinate. I procrastinate when I don't want to work. Both okay. Okay, now it's your turn. I would like for you to write down these questions to discuss with someone. Share your answers, share your thoughts. Maybe you can talk about the news this week in the USA. We have had some very sad and shocking events. So try to use the when clauses as you discuss. We will come back for segment 3, and we are going to talk about after clauses. Okay, see you in a few moments.